Immediately, my parents jump up and hear my brother is awake, calling for them. They rush into his room and he is laying down in the very center of his room on the floor with his blanket perfectly taut and draped on him. Nope, that's not him. That is not him. That is the entity that has been bothering you guys this entire time. That is not him. I'm calling it now. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you didn't already know, act like you know, because it's DadaZoe, so let's hop right into this video. So today I want to do part 7 of True Reddit Stories, scary stories at that. But before we hop in, don't forget to subscribe, and without further ado, let's just hop right into this video. I have a tale. This is my parents' story, but it is a good one, so the internet needs to hear it. Sorry for the extreme length. This is like a 2-hour story. When my parents tell it, they remember it even more vividly I could type about it. This is 100% real. If you think otherwise, bugger off. Part 1. Meekin. Back in the 80s, my parents had just gotten married, graduated from college, and had my big brother. They moved into a small house in a very affluent neighborhood north of Milwaukee. The house was surprisingly in their budget, again, just graduated from college and med school with a little one, but was the smallest on the block. My parents made an offer that was a few under the asking price. The two other couples offered more than the asking price. However, the old man that owned the house rejected both of those offers and said he wanted my folks to have it. He said he and his late wife would have both agreed it was the right thing to do. Now, why do I think that he has some malicious intent saying that y'all should have it? Maybe saw something in your family. Ugh. My folks are super grateful and extremely excited to be living in the neighborhood. There are many youngsters, so my brother had lots of playtime. Sorry, youngsters just make me giggle. Life was very good. Then shit starts going down. Okay, part 2. Red light. The first thing was with the basement. So, during this time, my mom stayed at home with my brother and my dad was getting his practice started. He worked super late and was only home on Sundays, basically. My mom did laundry in the basement, and one day, when she was walking up the stairs, a red light at the bottom of the stairs turned on. Why would y'all have a red light in the basement? Now I am told this is a super bright light, and the switch for it was taken off a long time ago. It is almost like a fallout shelter emergency light with a cage on it. Oh, I know exactly what they're talking about. My mom didn't know what to think, so she starts going downstairs to investigate. The light turns off. Oh, hell no, I would have turned my ass back upstairs to lock that dang basement door. She figures that maybe it was some sort of surge. The next day, she goes downstairs again. Comes up, the light is on again. Again, she starts walking down and it turns off. The ghost is playing hide and go to seek. It's playing something with you. She waits a bit at the bottom of the stairs, then walks back upstairs. The light turns on and she turns down this time to catch it. Only this time, it starts flashing like a strobe light before she can even reach the bottom. She noped the fuck out of the house so quickly with my brother and didn't go back to the rest of the day. The light never turned on for my dad or turned on again after that. Like that's very odd. Part 3. Knock knock. I like how they have little titles for the parts. After the red light thing, my mom is naturally shook up. She is scared to go downstairs without my dad, rightfully so. But there was something that started before the red light, but escalated after knocking. My parents figured this was originally just natural sounds of a house as it was fairly old. It would be very sporadic and very infrequent until one night. My parents were in bed chatting about the day, bills, etc., etc. Then they started hearing knocking. It started in their room under the bed, then on the walls and the ceilings. It would be at least 30 seconds apart, and they could not find out the source. Then it sounded like the knocking was outside the room. So they got up and tried following the sound and find where it is. They went all over the house, trying to figure out where it came from. Every time they thought they found the source, it would jump to a different side of the room. They eventually were in the foyer/living room and tracked the knocking super frequently and super loud to the foyer closet. My mom had a fireplace poker in hand and my dad had a bat. He crept towards the closet. As he reached for the doorknobs, a voice calls out to them, "Knock, knock." Boy, I would have been out of there. He swung the doors open. There was nothing there, and all the knocking stopped. My parents could do nothing but stare at each other. Neither of them slept that night. Oh, listen, one thing y'all gonna need to know about me is that if I ever buy a house and there is any type of supernaturals, I don't care how much money I put on that house, I'm out of there. I don't care. I'm out of there. We're gonna have to figure it out, but we're not going to be like, well, I mean, we already put all this money in it. I don't care. That's just not how I do. Part 4, it pushed me. After the red light and the knock knock, my parents are wary of the house. My mom is on the verge of a breakdown and not dealing with this well at all. Remember, she is in the house all day with this nonsense. My dad is usually more skeptical towards this kind of stuff, but he knows something is very wrong and thinks my mom is totally justified in her feelings. Good, because we don't need anybody to come around and try to, make her feel like she's going insane, because the house is driving her insane, and the activities that are going on in the house are driving her insane. So good that he is supportive. Well, we fast forward a few weeks, maybe even a month. It is a normal night like any other. My parents are asleep in their room, and my brother is in his. In the middle of the night, my mom suspects 2 or 3 a.m. Can't be certain, being all drowsy. My parents wake up to a huge thud. Immediately, my parents jump up and hear my brother is awake, calling for them. They rush into his room, and he is laying down in the very center of his room on the floor with his blanket perfectly taut and draped on him. Nope, that's not him. That is not him. That is the entity that has been bothering you guys this entire time. That is not him. I'm calling it now. My parents picked him up and asked him what happened. He responds, pointing to the closet. It pushed me. The fox pushed me. My dad opens the closet, rifles through everything looking for an animal, and of course finds nothing. So this is weird, right? Why would a 3-year-old say such a thing? Well, in this moment, my parents remembered the last name of the old man that sold them the house. Fox. Oh! Wait a minute. Oh, that's horrifying. What? Part 5, and I believe this is the last one. Reconciliation. I shit you not, my parents freaked out on this. There was too many things going on. My mom refused to let herself and my brother stay in the house, especially since she was now pregnant with my sister. My dad decided he was going to take care of this. Again, he is not a superstitious man. He is a doctor and a man of logic. However, he knew that there was something going on with this house. Ooh, I couldn't even imagine the stress. A night or 2 after Fox incident, my dad sat down in the living room and had a talk with the spirit of the house. What? No. In scary movie or, paranormal activities 101, you never sit down and you try to negotiate with a ghost. It never works out. He said, I don't know if you are real. I don't know if you are Mrs. Fox. But I do know this. You are going to stop. We are a peaceful and loving family. If you were Mrs. Fox, your husband would be ashamed of you. He wanted us to have our family here because he knew you would want us to. Just as you raised your family here, I want to do the same. Well, Mr. Tough Guy. Hey, you may stay here as long as you like, but you cannot do this to us anymore. I am so sorry for your passing and for your pain, but you cannot take it out on us. My wife is pregnant, and you are causing her loads of stress. If you even went after my son, this will stop, or I will seek someone who will make it stop. Thank you. Good night. After this, nothing bad happened to my family again. There were no lights, knocks, or foxes, but there was no final thing. In the wooden cabinet that my mom had bought at the neighbor's garage sale a few days later, they moved into the house. There was a card, an anniversary card. It said, "Happy anniversary, blank and blank, Fox." This was found 2 days after my parents' anniversary in June, after they moved the cabinet to the other side of the room. They had owned the cabinet since they moved moved into the house and had not seen the old man since they bought the house either. My parents have moved many times over the years and lost the card inevitably. We still have the cabinet. It sits in our cabin to this day. To quote my dad, wow. This story alone, although it had multiple different parts and it was a little lengthy, I really enjoyed it. It reminded me of Paranormal Activities, that movie, because you know how they'll have like day 13 and blah, blah, blah. And I really like the way that this author wrote it. It was really nice. I like that. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought about this story down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And tell me some of your spooky encounters. I'd love to have a chat down below. Anyways, bye!